The global multilateral financial architecture is set to take center stage at the 4th International Conference on Financing for Development that will take place in Spain later this year. The African group is already making preparations for this in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. The preparatory meeting brings together member states, civil society and other stakeholders in the development finance landscape to explore ways of supporting development funding. According to the Africa Group, a member of the lobby organization's spearheading, the push. This is the first step ahead of the Financing for Development Conference 2025. Jimmy Mbogoh now takes a look at some of the elements that the lobby groups will be pushing for.
As African countries continue to struggle with debt burden, the Civil Society Financing for Development Mechanism, an umbrella body for civil societies, is set to present its recommendation for the restructuring of the global financial architecture in a meeting set to take place in Spain in June next year. According to Jason Rosario, the Executive Director of Africa Forum and Network on Debt Development, AFRODAD, the Global South continues to face debt distress owing to unfavorable terms that have led to wider social and fiscal issues. This causing the countries to squeeze their citizenry for more taxes to meet their debt obligation.
The system is no longer about willing buyer, willing seller, because there are serious social consequences when we reduce the conversation to it being an issue of a willing buyer, willing seller situation. Some of the conditions that the IMF imposes on countries, particularly in Africa, are having severe social consequences. You can see, look at the different circumstances that developing countries are finding themselves in today. You've got 4 countries in Africa that have defaulted. There are probably very many more that are likely to default. Look at the situation we're seeing with public protests across the world, in Argentina, in Sri Lanka, in Bangladesh, in Kenya, in Uganda.
Among the changes the lobby groups will be pushing for in the reforms include a fairer and equal voice for developing countries on the international and global stage, better transparent accountability from all actors in development finance, reduced reliance on debt and market-led solution, as well as alignment of contemporary issues around climate emergency.
Right now, there's a lot of emphasis that's being placed on borrowing countries or borrowers to be very transparent and accountable. But there's very little transparency and accountability by lenders. When you look at how institutions like the IMF continue to lend to countries that are having very high debt burdens, when you look at sovereign bonds or Euro bond holders who continue to hold government paper, yet they know very well that these countries are going to struggle to pay off those bonds or pay off the returns.
The African group has also called for the operationalization of the global financial commitment and support for comprehensive debt relief initiative, with the continent's external debt now surpassing $655 billion amid escalating inflation. Jimmy Mbogoh, Citizen